How can you film a hurricane? It's easy. All you need is a smartphone and some smarts.
We'll give you some video tips from our book, The TV Studio in Your Hand, that we used in recent hurricanes.
Keep it here as Undercover Jet Setter is keeping you safe while shooting great video.
And hi, everybody, and cheers.
We are drinking a hurricane in honor of the show.
Now, we don't want to minimize the seriousness of hurricanes because there have been an increased number of them over the last few years.
And we don't necessarily want you running outside into a hurricane to get video. So we thought we would show you what we've done for the past few years.
Now, you can get video to let family and friends know you're okay in a hurricane, or to let neighbors know what's going on before, during, and after the storm.
And we will always emphasize safety first.
Absolutely. Now, here's a preview of what we did before Hurricane Dorian in North Carolina. Not much sign of Dorian in the Charlotte area. Tuesday was a beautiful day. Despite that, River's Edge Golf Course was closed for the impending hurricane. Locals had their grills ready in case they lost electricity coming up, and people were prepping by filling up with gas. But the streets seemed like business as usual. But nearby Holden Beach, there was a hint of Dorian. The surf was up. In fact, many of the surfers drove up here from Myrtle Beach.
The waves are better here, man. The waves are way better here.
Cool. Now, do you guys normally do this, look for the hurricane that's coming in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? All right, so explain how good it was today.
It's about chest high and glassy, a lot of lefts. It's fun. You can ride them up and down the beach. It's fun wave. It's fun wave.
Cool. You guys ready for the hurricane?
Yeah, yes, sir. I hope it doesn't get us too bad. I hope it brings better waves.
The waves are a little better down on the more north you go, the better the waves get. So my husband has me here today, me and the dog.
And the dog seems to be enjoying it too.
Yeah, she's a surf dog for sure.
Yeah. So are you guys worried at all about the hurricane?
We're not too worried, no. We're praying for everybody on the coast, of course, and in the Bahamas as well. But we're hoping for the best. Our little beach house is on 79th Avenue, so we're going to hunker down and stay through the hurricane.
So you're going to stick it out?
We are.
All right, good. Christy, thanks.
Thank you.
As of Tuesday night, Dorian was going to head up the coast of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina before veering northeast. And because of Wilmington's location, which juts eastward, there was a good chance that Port City, only about 30 miles away from here, could be taking a direct hit. The only solace is it might be only a Category 1. We will keep you posted. Now, we also went down to South Carolina to an area that was hit very hard the year before by Hurricane Florence.
And we spoke to a charity there ahead of time to let people in the area know that that facility was ready and would be available to help them.
With Hurricane Dorian apparently headed toward South Carolina, Spokes of Hope is preparing to help those no matter what they need, like they did even months ago after Florence. The nonprofit is headed by Shane Zaccoli. He took a few minutes to fill us in about their efforts for Dorian and how you can help.
These last 3 days, 4 days for disaster relief, we have a kitchen, we can feed people, we have an area we can sleep some people in an emergency situation. Through ordinance, we're allowed to have some campers in the parking lot if it's a necessity. We can package and box food provision. We'll do distribution out in our parking lot here. So we are a hub in Longs, South Carolina, which is just east of Loris, just west of the storm surge. We're in a location where on Highway 9, perfect setting, perfect location to where we can be very effective for Grand Strand. The outreach for us is fast, 31's close. We've got a lot of national organizations that's come alongside of us and behind us, and it's just a repeat from last year, from Florence.
Now, fortunately, Dorian was not as bad a hurricane as Florence was the year before, and Spokes of Hope was ready.
And we tried to help people get ready ahead of time too. We gathered all of the tips we knew so people could have a final checklist the day before.
So who should you be following for the storm? Well, definitely the Weather Channel. And online, check out the site for NOAA, which is NOAA.gov. That is a government site, very good site. I would also watch your local TV news stations, not only for weather updates, but also for breaking news about damage or flooding near you. Now, some tips we suggest: contact your neighbors. Let them know you will be around and find out if they're going to be around as well. Remember, once the storm hits, most emergency personnel will not be able to rescue you. You need to rely on neighbors and be ready to help them. Another prep: get everything off your porches. You do not want to create flying debris. Make sure to stock up on water and charge those batteries. Fill up the car with gas. And what's been really cool about here, around this area here, is that the prices of gas, they've actually been staying relatively low. Also stock up on whatever fuel your barbecue needs. Electricity could be out for a long time, even after the storm. You will need to cook out. In fact, what we do is we cook a ton of things before the storm and then wrap them and put them in the refrigerator. We also found that if you have coffee drinkers, that you should brew a lot of coffee ahead of time. You can always heat it up on the outside grill. Now be careful where you put your grill, especially when you're cooking outside. Determine where the hurricane's winds are coming from. And if you can put that grill in an area that will be blocked from the wind, that would actually work out really good. Now, whatever you do, do not grill inside. It is very dangerous. Also, if electricity goes out, try to eliminate the times you use the refrigerator to keep the food cooler longer. Food can actually stay a few days in the refrigerator even after the electricity's gone off if you keep the doors closed. In fact, what you should do is pack the refrigerator ahead of time with bags of ice to keep it cooler longer. Here's another trick. Before the storm, freeze water in a see-through glass. Once the electricity goes off, put that glass in your refrigerator with a coin on top. Once the coin has dropped to the bottom, meaning that the ice is melted, it probably means you should not be eating that food in the refrigerator. Another tip is to lower all the shades on your windows. Then turn up the air conditioning. This way, it will be cooler longer if the electricity goes off. Okay, so what if you're shooting videos like me and you're giving updates during the storm? Well, if you're going to do it like that, here are a few tips that I want to tell you about that we have from our book. The first thing is to be safe. You do not need to go out in the middle of a storm without any protection. You can easily shoot from a doorway in your house that is safe. Don't risk injury for a good video clip. The second thing to remember are these 3 rules when shooting video. And this ties into safety too. First of all, shoot horizontal like this. Don't do video vertically. You almost can't use that video. Next, shoot wide. Allow a number of things to happen within your screen. Don't worry if you can't see it right away on the screen. In the editing process, we can squeeze in to see everything. That is the beauty of these new camera phones. They actually don't lose the picture or get fuzzy when you're squeezing in. Next, hold it steady. Don't move. Trying to maneuver for a shot creates really shaking video, and all it does, get your motion sickness. The reason you do these 3 things is because you will get better video, but it will also allow you to pay attention to your surroundings so you don't get injured. Remember to be safe. We'll be talking to you during and after Dorian. And it's raining now. I'm getting inside.
Okay, so that is leading up to the hurricane. When we come back, when the hurricane hits.
We are in Cozumel, Mexico.
You may have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone.
So that means you can create your own TV show.
You may want to have great vacation videos.
Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand.
It's a quick read, and you can get it here.
So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show. Welcome back. So Dorian hit on Thursday morning, September 5th.
That's right, and we were expecting a lot worse. And in these videos, we tried to give you updated information that we got from the internet, from the TV, and also we're trying to give you a personal touch.
So let us take you through the day and the waiting.
It is 8 a.m. on Thursday, September 5th. Here are the pictures of the first sign of damage. This is from Sunset Beach, North Carolina. These pictures come from friends Greg and Jerry. We are getting reports of tornadoes hitting Calabash and Sunset Beach too. We'll try to find out more information. What we can tell you is Dorian has been upgraded to a Category 3, which is a little unsettling. The bulk of it should hit the Wilmington area around 10 p.m. tonight, possibly as a direct hit. By mid-afternoon, 60-mile-an-hour winds and rains are predicted here. Thanks for the good wishes on social media. We have all of our preparations done. Nike Dog has been walked, even though he has an idea something is going on, but don't worry, there's plenty of doggy cannabis for him. And we have also made the coffee in case the lights go out while gauging the wind direction that is compatible with cooking and grilling outside. Again, keep an eye on our Facebook and Twitter sites at Brunswick Beach News and Sunset Beach News. A quick update here from Charlotte, North Carolina. Dorian has started dumping heavy amounts of rain. This is the 18th fairway at River's Edge. Luckily, this place drains well. Again, we are waiting for the real heavy stuff later this afternoon and into the evening. Latest reports say landfall could be north of Wilmington, which is not that far away. More to come. 10:30 a.m. now in Charlotte, but just a short while ago we showed you this torrential rain. Now it is calm, enough to let Nike Dog walk around and relieve himself. Why the sporadic weather? Well, take a look at the WECT radar. We are just southwest of Wilmington, so what we are experiencing is the outer bands of Dorian. The real potent stuff is coming later this afternoon and into the evening. It is 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 5th, awaiting Hurricane Dorian. This is the view of the Charlotte River overlooking River's Edge Golf Course. You can see how high the river is. Now, it won't be high again until 2 in the morning, which is when Dorian is forecasted to be hitting us. The good news is there's less rain in Dorian compared to Florence last year, and Florence did not overflow onto the golf course. Plus, you can see how well River's Edge drains. Still, Dorian has yet to make a real entrance. This is what the radar looks like at 8 p.m. tonight. All that red and yellow could mean a lot of rockin' and rollin'. We'll keep you posted. It's 7:45 p.m. on September 5th, and Dorian is moving in. Here is the rain and the wind gusts along with a croaking frog. Take a listen. So far, we have power. But while watching TV, it has flickered. Other communities near us have lost power. I'm guessing my next report will be in the dark. So, were we in the dark?
Stay tuned and find out.
You may not have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone. So that means you can create your own TV show, or you may want to have great vacation videos. Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand. It is a quick read, and you can get it here. So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show.
So you were waiting with great apprehension for 10 p.m. when you thought the storm was going to hit, and it never really happened.
I know, it's amazing. We were quite lucky. Now, it seemed to veer off into the sea. Now, some areas of North Carolina that were north and east of us, they did get an awful lot of flooding, wind, and even some tornadoes.
But thankfully, when we looked at things in the morning, it was all okay.
The radar map says it all. This was earlier this morning showing Dorian moving out of the region. There's nothing like the weather the day after hurricane. The air is fresh and crisp, and we are also thankful for that and the good wishes you gave us throughout. Here at River's Edge, there was no power outage and there was minimal damage, mostly tree branches. We'll be looking for any other problems throughout the day, plus we'll be looking at the surrounding area, which may have had more problems due to flooding and tornadoes. But here at River's Edge, no real problems. We'll also let you know when the course will be open.
and you were able to document the opening of River's Edge Golf Club.
That's right, and we did it quickly too. As you'll see in this piece, I spoke to the general manager, Jason Monahan, and I let him tell the whole story.
John, we are absolutely ecstatic to announce that we're going to reopen tomorrow, Sunday, September 8th, under normal operating hours and normal conditions.
And the public can come out and play golf tomorrow?
Absolutely. Tee sheets are open. You can go online and book now. You can go on our Facebook page, track the recent updates, and book from there. In reality, John, we could have probably opened today, but we wanted to be sure to take that extra day so when our customers arrive, there is no awareness, no reminiscence of the storm. Their experience would not be compromised. We can provide them with that memorable experience when they visit River's Edge.
I got to tell you, looking around, it doesn't even look like anything hit this area.
Our team has done a phenomenal job. We have an outstanding maintenance crew, great staff. They were on site at 7 a.m. Friday morning, beginning cleanup. It's been a nonstop effort while the sun's been up and cleaning and removing debris. Once again, phenomenal job by the entire
Now, when
team.
we come back, we will take a look at some of the other hurricanes that we've dealt with over the past few years. We are in Cozumel, Mexico.
You may have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone.
So that means you can create your own TV show.
You may want to have great vacation videos.
Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand.
It's a quick read, and you can get it here.
So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show. Undercover Jet Setter is booming.
We are looking for partners to attract consumers interested in travel, food, mixology, wine, restaurants, and golf.
Your business and expertise will be profiled on our shows and online segments that will provide you with valuable marketing tools which you can use on your sites.
And your business will also gain exposure to our Undercover Jet Setter global reach of over 120 million across all of our platforms.
Drop us a line here and let's partner up together.
So since you moved to the Carolinas, you have dealt with 5 hurricanes.
Yeah, and we've been really lucky because they've come close. We've had some close calls, but the worst hurricane was Hurricane Florence. It seemed to just hover off the coast and relentlessly just bring us wind and rain.
You can find Undercover Jet Setter on Wingding TV, a streaming channel, and so much more.
Like us, you can have your own show or channel to promote your business and reach more customers.
Because Wingding Media is also a social media and digital marketing giant.
Look what they've done for the Ultimate Long Drive Championships.
More than 1 million viewers with 30 licensed partnerships sold around the world.
So check out wingding.tv to watch Undercover Jet Setter or to create something for your own business.
Power went out here around 6 a.m. This is a little after 8 a.m. in the morning. And believe it or not, this is the eye of the storm passing overhead. That gave Nike Dog a chance to pee.
You got poop? Nike pees in the eye of the storm. Yay! Good boy.
Nike later said, "Florence, I pee on you." If that was the eye of the storm, then it was short-lived. Moments later, the wind began to kick up again. Again, it's about 50 to 60 miles per hour. The forecast for this afternoon says it's going to be 30, which is a lot less than in some areas because we are not on the northern side of the hurricane. So a lot more coming up. We will check in later, and just stay safe, everybody.
You may not have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone. So that means you can create your own TV show, or you may want to have great vacation videos. Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand. It is a quick read, and you can get it here. So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show. For a refreshing and extremely healthy drink to go with everything, try this one.
It is called A1C, and it's conceivably the healthiest drink
ever made.
A1C is the first scientifically designed diabetic drink in the history of the world, and we love it.
And it's just not for people with diabetes, although it is great for that. Anyone can enjoy the wonderful health benefits and delicious flavor.
Go to a1cdrinks.com to try it and use coupon code JETSETTER1 for a 5% discount.
Cheers, Jet Setters.
All right, this is the view from the beach on Sunset Beach. We went over to the island to see what was happening. The surf was definitely up. Now, this is just from the outer bands of Irma. There is some rain, but not a lot right now. By mid-afternoon, we are expecting a lot of rain for about 24 hours. The winds are about 30 miles an hour here. Gusts are up to about 45, and that should increase too during the afternoon. The big question will be the storm surge. This is at high tide, which hit at noon, so it was beginning to go back a bit. Still, you have to wonder how high it will get even as the storm comes in. Now, my wife Terry took her shoes and socks off to get some of this video from underneath the Sunset Beach Bridge. She said the water was still quite warm. The forecast says it's still at 78 degrees. Again, these are conditions over on the island. Here is the view from the canals on the other side of the island from our friends Jim and Linda Barber. Those flecks of light, that's rain. The homes seem to be protecting them from the wind. Still, look at the water level as we drive back in the causeway over the bridge. You have to wonder, even if the tide is going out, the extra rain and the wind could be flooding the one way off the island. We'll keep you apprised of that. So we are getting more of Irma, but we are still hours away from more weather, even though this is still the outer bands of this historic hurricane. So it is just afternoon. Matthew has picked up in intensity, and notice too, it is about an hour from high tide, which will be here about 1 p.m. The incoming tide along with the storm surge is quite a bit different. Here was the video I shot only 2 hours before. Now this is the highest I have seen the tide here. Notice the dock next door, it is almost submerged. The walkway out to the dock is almost sitting on the water. Now we're fairly safe here though. There is a 10-foot retaining wall at the base of our property. Now according to WMBF TV in Myrtle Beach, Matthew's core is now over the Grand Strand in Myrtle Beach. So we are about to get the worst soon. Some neighbors say they have seen some tree limbs down nearby. I'm still predicting we will be without power soon. So far so good. More to come.
Now, the region has had its share of hurricanes, and it can be dangerous and unsettling, especially, for kids and for the elderly.
Now, just remember, when you are shooting the weather or anything else unpredictable, always take precautions and put your safety first.
Absolutely. Now, we hope that these tips were helpful to you, whether you want to get out and get some information out there or just share what's happening with loved ones.
And if you'd like to share any more tips or video that you've shot, tweet us at UC Foodie TV or visit our Facebook page. We would love to hear from you.
And we will see you next time on Undercover Jet Setter. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ah, hurricane.
It sounds fancy, but it's actually a great everyday wine that you can enjoy, and the pocketbook price is perfect.
Don't call it Sonoma Cutrer, though. People will think you're silly. It's Sonoma Cutrer. Just remember that.
It has
Even
a fancy French
R-E-R-E-N.
name. Yes, and that's how you pronounce it, C-U-T-R-E-R, French Cutrer. So when you order it in the restaurant, you'll look very knowledgeable if you say Sonoma Cutrer, and they'll bring you a great Chardonnay that's very drinkable for the everyday palate, and at the same time easy on your pocketbook.
And it's really a staple for your home. If you are someone who drinks Chardonnay a lot, this is a good staple to have because it's not too expensive. You can get it at the grocery stores. What's actually kind of cool about the history of this is they've been around for a while, and they always kind of kept balance in Chardonnays because when it got really big, Sonoma Cutrer stayed right there. They didn't follow the trend, and they always kept balance. And I think that's one thing that's great about it. Is it something you can drink with everything.
Very sippable, very sippable. I think goes with a lot of different foods: chicken, fish, shrimp, shellfish, absolutely pork and lamb. I want to say it goes with certain cheese for sure. I want to say it goes with certain types of beef, maybe a tri-tip or something like that, that's thinly sliced. Especially if you have, like a tomato sauce or something, I think it would go very well with that.
How about a lamb?
Yeah, lamb, definitely, absolutely. A lamb, even with mint. Spanish food, I think it would go very well with Spanish food.
It'd be great paella.
Paella, absolutely. Good with cilantro, anything with that, be very good. So it's a great wine because, again, it's got good acidity for a Chardonnay, which when you smell it, you can get that minerality, and you smell the fruit and the minerality. And when you sip it, you actually get a nice silky fruit flavor with some nuttiness, some oak, some butter, some cream. Definitely that long finish of butter, cream, silkiness, but it also gives you a lot of minerality, which goes great with food.
And again, we talk about the complexities of some of these Chardonnays. And a lot of them, if you just have them for the first time and you're trying different ones, you might think they kind of taste alike, but if you give it a little bit more time, you'll see that there are subtle differences there that really make it interesting. This one is just, doesn't clobber you over the head. It just kind of puts its arm around you and says, hey, let's just relax a little.
Yeah, exactly. Join me for a nice afternoon glass of wine, some cheese.
We talked about Columbia Crest being a great dinner wine to serve if you have a big dinner party and you've got to serve wine for everybody. This is another good choice.
Absolutely. So we looked up some tasting notes for you from the winery. It says aromas of apple pie, Bosch pear, white peach accented with oak spice and a hint of vanilla, toasted nuts, touch of butterscotch, and light caramel. That pretty much describes it exactly. I mean, you can't go better than that. That's really what you're tasting, is the nuts and the fruit. And that is all from the soil and the terroir, but also the grape of the Chardonnay, just absorbing that. It's beautiful flavors.
So I get the feeling really that all the grapes are grown right in the Sonoma region, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And that's why we're tasting the way that we are compared to some of the other grapes that we've tasted, some of the other wines from different regions. We've said they're much buttery, oaky. This one is a good balance, and it is because the grapes are grown 100% in Sonoma.
Would you say if you're somebody who's more prone toward a European or a French Chardonnay, this is a good compromise?
Oh, absolutely. It's a good blend of a California big buttery Chardonnay and a French Chablis. Delicious.
Sonoma
Thank you, Sonoma Cutrer.
Don't call it Cutrer.
We love you.